Awesome. So now let's start. So throughout this presentation, we're going to be going over why would you want to cut the cable, man? Like, what does that mean as well? Why do people cut out cable? How to watch TV without cable? Breaking down smart TVs and what you can do if you don't have a smart TV. Different streaming services, ways to watch live sports, live TV, local news, and so on. So, what does it mean to, I guess, cut out the cable? So essentially, cutting out cable means that you're kind of ditching traditional ways of having cable TV, like uh direct TV, maybe having something to Xfinity or Comcast, and really doing most of your TV through the internet. So the TV shows and movies that you watch will be through streaming services, and then you pay for a specific show or movie by either purchasing or renting or streaming it. So why do people cut out cable? It's essentially because cable bills have become so expensive, and there's so many different things on there that the normal person really doesn't watch, so they don't really take advantage of all the channel options that are there. And a lot of people they don't like the long-term contracts of that as well. They don't like that that you're not able to cancel immediately. The great thing about streaming is it offers a variety of different selections that you can be a little bit more narrowed down to your taste, to your preference, and you're able to cancel it a lot easier. So, uh, how do we watch TV without cable? All of this requires an internet access using a smart TV or any type of smart TV tool like a Roku, Amazon stick, maybe an Apple TV stick. All of that requires the internet. And if you have one of these streaming sticks, then you'll be able to add on top of it essentially and get streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Tubi, Disney Plus, and many, many more. So now, what is a smart TV? Essentially, it's a TV that connects to the internet, and it has these applications built in, applications like Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, like the ones that I said previously. And you don't need a cable box anymore. You don't need the cable man to come in and install a box anymore. All you need is the smart TV, or even a normal TV, and those smart devices like the Roku sticks, Amazon TV sticks, or Apple TV sticks. So, yeah, like I just said, if your TV is not a smart TV, that's no problem at all. You can use any of those streaming sticks, streaming devices as alternatives, and those can work out just fine. So now, what are streaming services? I've been talking a lot about like the ones that you can use, but now let's get into like what they actually are. So they allow you to watch shows through the internet, no DVDs, no VCRs, no cable boxes, watch anytime, anywhere. This could be on your TV, it can be on your phone, your tablet, really any device that you have that can connect to the internet, more than likely has the ability to you can put a streaming service on that device. So what are the popular ones? Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus, so on. Those are the popular ones. As you can see right here, the prices they do vary, they do range. Typically, the services that offer a little bit more in terms of uh, in terms of shows, movies, those are going to be a little more expensive, and they have different packages based on, hey, do I want two users or four users to be able to watch at one time, or maybe do I want ads on my my movies and TV shows, or do I not want any ads? So that's why you see the big price range from 7.99 to 24.99 and 11.99 to 18.99, just because there's so many different add-ons and things that you can do for them as well. But typically, just choosing one of these or even two of these is going to be cheaper than cables. And at the end of the day, there's no contract. So if you don't like one of these services, if you grow bored of the things that you're watching on there, you can cancel, get rid of it. If you want to get it back in the future and reactivate your account, then you can do so pretty easily. So I guess how does someone watch live TV without cable? There are many alternatives to do so. YouTube TV, ESPN Plus, Link TV, Hulu Plus, Live TV, and so on. A lot of the streaming services that I said earlier also have like TV, live TV alternatives. I know that I think at least for the NBA for basketball, you can watch it on a variety of different platforms. I believe it's YouTube TV. You can watch it on many different things. So these all are for the most part, many of these offer live TV alternatives and packages and so on. So I guess how do you watch the local news as well? So if you have a streaming stick or a smart TV, then you're more than likely going to be able to connect to local channels and then get, a few select shows and movies, but the news as well. So most of them do have access to the news, and the news you can get that through I guess YouTube as well. They have different segments on their the news channels YouTube pages. So those are ways you can access it also. Now, how do you connect your TV to Wi-Fi in order to use these streaming services? So the first step is to turn on the TV and find the settings either straight on the TV or through using one of your streaming devices, the Roku, Amazon Prime Stick, or Apple TV Stick. Then in settings, you look for anything called network, and then you search for the name of your home Wi-Fi. You select, and then you enter your Wi-Fi password, and there you go. Now your TV or streaming device is connected to the Wi-Fi, and you can start streaming. And how do you download an app on a TV or a streaming device? So essentially each of these smart TVs or streaming devices, they have an application store, an app store. So Roku has like the Roku channel store. There's the app store for the Apple TV, Google Play store, and so on. You can go inside there, similar to how you can download applications on your phone. You go inside there, type in the specific streaming app that you're looking for. There might be suggestions as well if you want to just click on one, download it, and try it out. Uh, and then once you do that, you can just go in and start streaming, but only if you have an account first. So you would need to go download this app, open it up, and set up an account with your email address, credentials, and those will be saved every time from then on. So you just hop right back into it. And these credentials, you can use them across different devices for the same account. If you want to use Netflix on your TV, you can also pick it up on your tablet or on your phone, for instance. So setting up your account on streaming services. So they're going to ask for a an email, a name, and a password. And it might ask you to input a credit card for potential future purchases. But this is not always required. It just depends on the streaming service and if it's a paid streaming service as well. So um but then, like I was saying, many streaming services they require payment. Some of them do, some of them are free depending on selection of content and just depending on what service it is. But you might have to pay it for a subscription. Like I was saying previously, these subscriptions they vary in price just depending on what features you want, what add-ons you want, and so on. But like I said before, you just remember that you can cancel anytime. And if you want to resume later in the future, a few months down the line, a few years down the line, then you can just go back under the same account and then just pick it right back up. Uh, so the pros to these streaming services is you can narrow down exactly what you might want. Uh, I wouldn't recommend necessarily getting five and six streaming services because at that point, then you're racking up the cost right back to what cable is. But what these are really for is narrowing down the selection of shows that you want to watch. So let's say that you really want to watch one specific show that you know that Netflix has, then you can just get Netflix and you don't really care about, watching a bunch of other things. Then you can just go and get this one streaming service, pay exactly what you want, and then you don't have to worry about paying an extra 50, 60, $70 for a bunch of content and shows and TV shows and movies that you're never going to touch. There are also no contracts at all, so you're very flexible in terms of how you can view, how you can watch. And really the best part about it personally is that you can watch anywhere at any time. Let's say that you're on a road trip, you want to pick it up and go, and you want to watch on the way, you can watch it there. If you go on a vacation somewhere, you can watch it in the hotel, or you can watch it in any way that you might stay. So that's the great thing about these is you can pick up and go, use it on any of your devices, and you're good to go. Now when it comes to the cons is that you always need internet access to do this. So if you don't have internet access, then unfortunately you can't watch any of these shows. And the cheaper subscriptions typically have like restricted services, causing you to pay for a little bit more want if you want better, or I guess better services, quote unquote. Like for me, for instance, uh I think Amazon Prime Video, it was 12.99 for me. They they said that they took away they added on ads. Then they said that if you want to have ad free, you have to pay an extra, let's say $3. So now personally, I'm doing I think $15 a month roughly just to have ad free content. So they can kind of vary in price, and sometimes they can go up in price. But generally, if you keep the same two or three, it's still going to be significantly cheaper than using cable. And some more cons. So setting up an account might be a little bit of a hassle. Sometimes depending, some of them it takes a while to do so. And having more than several subs or two subscriptions, yeah, two or three, that can sometimes defeat the purpose of cutting cable. So you want to narrow it down to exactly what you might want, and not really too much more than that.